I got out of the Army, I went to Corning Community College, and I got a degree in chemistry, only to then get a job at Toshiba Display Devices, where they made CRT picture tubes down in Horseheads on Westinghouse Road, to be an equipment mechanic. But I met a Christian there named Jerry, and God knew I would meet a Christian there named Jerry. And Jerry shared the gospel with me for a year. And at the end of that year, he said to me, Doug, listen, if you just get a Bible and before you open it, you pray, God, if you're real, prove it as I read this book. He said, God will prove himself real to you. If you've heard my story, you know that I dismissed that. I wasn't intending to do anything with that. But at the end of that very same week, I got a phone call from a great aunt of mine who lives in Florida, who's also a Christian. And at the end of that conversation, she said to me, Dougie, listen, if you would just get a Bible, and before you open it, if you would just pray, God, if you're real, prove it as I read this book. She said, he'll prove himself to you. At this point now, God's got my attention. And I go and I buy a Bible from Walden Bookstore in the mall. It's one of the many stores that are no longer in the mall, but it used to be there. And I bought an NIV Quest Study Bible. And I took it home and I hid it in the bathroom behind all the towels, because I didn't want Michelle to see me reading the Bible, that it would be just one more thing I was trying to do to show her that I could change when I never changed. So I read that Bible in secret. Started off in Genesis, got all kinds of confused. Remembered there was a new part that had to do with Jesus, so I jumped to Matthew, the first book in the new part. And I read through Matthew, and I realized that I know I'm a sinner. I got all kinds of evidence in my life to say that I'm a sinner. And I realized for the first time in my life, Jesus wasn't just a good man. I was familiar with Jesus from my childhood and also from the New Age movement, but now I realize that Jesus is the unique God-man, God's Son, and the only provision for salvation that God has given to mankind. My problem was I didn't understand grace. I just thought there's got to be something I've got to do. And my problem with there's got to be something I've got to do is I've tried to do the right things, and I failed over and over and over again to do the right things. And this thought kept running through my mind. If I blow it with Jesus like I've blown it with everyone else, then there's no hope for me. I'm done. And so that Bible went back behind the towels, and it stayed there for over a month. I didn't pull it out. I didn't read it. I tried not to think about it because in my mind I was stuck. I knew I needed Jesus. I didn't think Jesus wanted anything to do with me, and I didn't understand grace. And then one night out of the blue, I worked a 12-hour factory night shift, and so I'm staying up late before my first night at work so I could sleep a little bit later in the day and be able to make it 12 hours that next night. So whatever it was, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't know, I'm sitting on my couch watching mindless TV, and John 3:16 came into my mind, a verse I memorized when I was in 6th grade.